Hey everyone, I'm Lisa with Made to Create with Lisa, and thank you so much for being here tonight. Today is episode 5 of the Great North American Stampin' Show. And last week, Julie was the winner of our competition. She made a super cute scrapbook page using some flowers. And I hope that you watched all of our videos and liked them all and enjoyed our inspiration. The fun thing about the scrapbook pages is that was the first scrapbook page I had ever made. But I love that you can make all different kinds of things and then use that as inspiration for upcoming projects. Even if it isn't a scrapbook page, you can use them for inspiration for home decor or for a card layout, anything really. So anyway, tonight we're back to layout inspirations from the catalog. And we're going to use page 58 tonight for our the layouts that we're going to be inspired from. So I hope that you like the card that I came up with. What you need to do is you need to watch my video and hopefully you'll like it. And then you'll need to watch the other videos that I'll have linked in the description box. Watch all 4 of our videos and check them all out and like your favorite. And that will be your vote for next week's winner. So again, we're using page 58 from the catalog, and I'm going to go ahead and show that to you close up. So let's go ahead and start with our project. Okay, we are using page 58 of our annual catalog for our inspiration tonight. This is the Kintsugi Inspirations suite here. And look at the different card layouts that we had to choose from. So this is the layout that I chose to use as my inspiration piece for tonight's project. And I love that I actually used pretty much the same exact layout, well, close to the exact layout, except just using different products. So let's go ahead and get started. So tonight I am going to use the Gallery Blooms stamp set as well as some of the dies. And what we're going to do first is go ahead and take our Misty Moonlight and stamp one of the images from the stamp set. So very simple stamping there. And then I'm going to go ahead and bring in some scratch paper there for some coloring with my Stampin' Blends markers. So if you know our blends, you know that you need to have something underneath your table because it does kind of bleed through. And so you just want to be careful. That's a little bit fat. So let's go ahead and get the bullet tip there. And I'm just going to make some accents on the shaded parts of these cards. So this is really just Misty Moonlight on Misty Moonlight, really. And I am just doing extremely simple coloring here. I didn't want it to be intense. So this is the light and the dark of the Misty Moonlight. And then I'm going to pull in some of the cloud cover. And just kind of start blending that together. I don't know if you can hear that, but basically I am like kind of swirling my pen. Sometimes it kind of makes it squeak almost. And it just, you can do it kind of in a circular motion. To kind of get that to blend together, get it really wet, and it just starts to kind of bleed together. And I'm just going to add a little bit of yellow. I don't even know how much you'll be able to see it. Yeah, I guess you can see it. Just adding a little color there in the middle of the flowers. And then I think I'm going to pull in some of the Misty Moonlight here to add in the green on my leaves. So like I said, this is just really quick coloring. Sort of like a watercolor wash look. See this one too. I think I want to add a little accent here on this one. I didn't realize that was a leaf. I love this about the blends, that you can kind of go back in and add some accents, and I like to do that kind of sloppy so that it looks really washed. Okay, so you can see that's super watercolored looking. Now I'm going to pull in the matching dies here, and we're actually going to use this frame, but first I'm going to die cut out the matching flower. I'm going to die cut out this flower using the matching die. So I'll do that real quick. Okay, so here we are. Isn't that pretty? I'll put these aside. Now, what I did is, let's look at the inspiration piece here again. You can see that the background is an embossing folder, and then they layered a frame, and then they did some flowers and a sentiment. So we're going to be doing the same thing. Whoops, so let's pull this away. All right, so I went with a cloud cover card base here. And then I used my Gallery Blooms dies to cut out this frame. And I used my beautiful brand new Sunflower 3D embossing folder to emboss this beautiful piece here. So that's going to be our focal point. And all we're going to do here is layer this on. Okay. And then we're going to put the frame on here, but before we do that, we're just going to layer this up. It's going to be pretty, but I was thinking that we should do something to decorate this frame. So let's go ahead. I'm going to stick this back in here. Let's go ahead and use our cloud cover ink pad to just do a quick color on color so that it's not too intense. I'm going to wash this off since we just used the Misty Moonlight on it. And I'm just going to very lightly decorate up this frame. Isn't that looking good? There, it just gave it a little bit of something so that it dresses it up a little bit, and it kind of ties in our stamped image. Yes, that looks so much better. I love it. Okay. Now, before we glue this together, I'm actually we're going to emboss our sentiment. So this particular stamp set doesn't have any words in it, so I went ahead and pulled out my mixed labels stamp set here, and I used this label here and die cut that out of the basic white. And I'm going to pull in my Versamark so that we can emboss this with gold. Now again, the reason I'm embossing this with gold is because that is what my sample had. It had the sentiment done in gold. And I just think that's really pretty. So let me get my embossing heat tool here. think that looks beautiful. All right, and let's go ahead and start to put our card together. So I did my card just a little bit differently than the sample, and then I put my flowers down there. I thought that we could put our sentiment over here, but I feel like it needs a little something. So let's add some ribbon. So I think that this ribbon from the Cheers and Sips suite is perfect for this. And let's go ahead, and I think I'm gonna tie a really sloppy big bow. And the reason is not because it's a bow, the reason is because it's nice and sloppy. And see, it will kind of spill out behind that. And so that'll make a big kind of a splash. It might be a little bit big, so let's make it just a little bit smaller. All right. So I think what I'm gonna do is put this flat down. I was thinking about using dimensionals, but I think it'll be better if it's flat down onto the card, and then we put the other items up on dimensionals. Okay, so my big floppy bow here is gonna look perfect behind here. So let me grab a glue dot. Actually, I need my glue dot on this side. Well, let's see where it looks the best. I just want it to lay flat, so I think that'll work. And then we'll put on quite a few dimensionals around it to kind of hold it on. We're holding it on as well as popping up the sentiment. Sort of doing double duty there. Okay, I love the way that this is looking. And then we'll pop that guy up there. Using all my dimensional edges here. Okay. I think I want to trim these a little bit. And then the last thing I wanted to do was add in a few of these gems. I think that the gold in here is perfect, and it's adding the perfect touch. All right. So where would these look pretty? I think just sort of sprinkling them in. I'm going to grab the ones that have a lot of gold in them because I think that looks so perfect. I love that. I'm going to put in a couple up here too. Whoops. Okay, what do you think? I think this turned out so pretty. So again, I hope that you love that. I know I used a lot of different stamp sets, but I think that it turned out really, really pretty. So again, this was page 58 of the annual catalog. I used the Kintsugi, that framed card as my inspiration piece tonight. So I hope you love this. I think it turned out beautiful. I love how the cloud cover and the misty moonlight look together. I'm really, really loving that new in color, the cloud cover this year. So again, thank you for being here. Be sure to like my video and watch the other ladies' videos and like your favorite, okay? We'll be back again next week with some new ideas. So stay tuned and I'll talk to you again soon.